Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pastor Ojimba Alex, and I'm on Gospel Faith Television. And today I want to look at a subject and a title which is called The Rise and Rise of Africa. Now, if you look at Africa as a continent, Africa as a continent has been going for a long time. It's come a long way, and Africa itself has had its ups and downs. I mean, from the beginning, or in the beginning, Africa itself wasn't even a continent. But due to world geography and due to the world structures, Africa has been carved out of the earth and it's been made a continent. Well, since Africa started, it's had its upheavals and it's had its ups and downs, it's had its problems, it's had its great times, but I'm here to bring you good news, and I'm here to say that from last week, Mr. Robert Mugabe, the Zimbabwean president, has been made the African Union president, or you can say the African Union chairman. And obviously I was watching the news and the coverages, and I felt very relieved and delighted when they gave such an honorable man as Robert Mugabe the prominent post of being the African Union chairman. So I just want to say that because Robert Mugabe has become the African Union because Robert Mugabe has become the African Union chairman, not champion, chairman, Africa is going to be on the rise. So the name of this topic that I'm engaging with today is called The Rise and Rise of Africa. I want to say that Robert Mugabe will prove that Africans, we can be united. I mean, there's so much division in the African continent that it's actually become unbelievable. A country like Nigeria, for example, they're facing so much insurgency problems at the moment. And I'm here to say that the insurgency that the Nigerians are facing as a problem, it will end under Robert Mugabe's regime. So basically, the point I'm trying to make here is Nigeria's problem is not Nigeria's problem as a country. Nigeria's problem is also Africa's problem as a continent. So if Nigeria's government cannot solve the issue of the insurgency, I expect Robert Mugabe with his new regime to be able to come in with even higher laws and better laws to solve this problem. So say this after me. Say Nigeria's insurgency problem is Africa's insurgency problem, because it's the African countries that do make up the continent. I want you to understand that Robert Mugabe is a very respected man worldwide, and with his influence and with his experiences and with his background and with what he represents as an honorable man, he would only bring respect and discipline back into the African continent. You know, a lot of people on the African continent, they take laws into their own hands. But I expect Mr. Robert Mugabe to reinstall respect and discipline to the African continent. You know, I keep on having visions, and I keep on seeing the insurgency in Nigeria that is going on. With this new post that's been given to Mr. Robert Mugabe, the insurgency will have to stop with immediate effect. So that means what the Nigerian government were not capable of achieving, Robert Mugabe is coming from a higher level, and to stop this insurgency has to be one of his major priorities. It has to be part of his assignment within the African Union. This is a situation that has to be addressed. You know, I say it this way because I don't even know if you're understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth right now here. There's been a lot of African Union leaders in the past, but it seems like they didn't even have a voice. So it's like you're a leader and you're a rubber stamp. But I know exactly what Robert Mugabe is bringing to the African Union. Robert Mugabe is going to become the new voice of Africa. He's the new voice of Africa. I know that all presidents across the African continent, they will have to report to Mr. Robert Mugabe. I'll give you an example of what I mean. It's not going to be a situation where countries have problems and it's an internal problem alone. No, it's going to be a situation where countries, they have problems, and if they can't solve it, at the end of the day, they have to bring it to the African Union, where Robert Mugabe, with his authority, I was going to say powers, but that's not the word I'm going to use. With his authority, he will be able to discern and make the right decisions. So to put Robert Mugabe in that position and in that post as the African Union chairman, I take my hats off to the people that voted Mr. Robert Mugabe in, because he is the ideal candidate. Of course he is the ideal candidate. Africa will have a better structure with what is coming in and what is going out. What I mean by Africa will have a better structure with what is coming into the continent and what is going out. What I'm trying to say here is, it seems like the African resources that belongs to the African people, it seems like it doesn't belong to it seems like we don't even have control over our own continent anymore. There has to be some control, there has to be discipline. They have to inject and interject to make a difference. You know, look at Europe. Europe has got a structure. I can't come into Europe, and not a foreigner can't come into Europe and do as it pleases them. So I expect Robert Mugabe, as the African Union chairman, to bring more structure to the African continent, a better structure. A research structure, a constructive structure, a structure with an aim, a structure with objectives for the betterment of the African citizens. So Robert Mugabe is a breath of fresh air. And I hope he gets to see this video as well, because this message is coming from Pastor Ojimba Alex, a South Londoner. I'm not making this video from America or Holland. I'm a Londoner. So Robert Mugabe is the right candidate. He's the ideal candidate. He's bringing change to the African continent. These are exciting times for the African continent. And that's why I titled, that's why I themed this, The Rise and Rise of Africa. I mean, the days when we heard about the rise and fall is going to become something of the past. There used to be the rise and fall of Africa. That's what they taught us in secondary school. But as far as I'm concerned, as from this appointment of Robert Mugabe, it's only going to be the rise and rise. Can you say the rise and rise?
Right and right.
No, not the right and right. Can you say the rise and rise?
The right and rise.
No. The rise and rise.
The right and rise.
The rise and rise of Africa.
Rise
That's
and
what
rise.
Robert Mugabe is bringing. So these are good times. These are decent times for Africa.